During the 487th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was mainly concentrated on these areas. In the Vremivka front, Ukrainian forces continue to make progress. Recently, it is reported that the Ukrainian soldiers have expanded the area of control southwest of Makarivka, going beyond the road that connects Rivnopil and Staromayorsk. The Russian troops in Rivnopil are being isolated and will most likely withdraw south in the following hours to avoid a possible encirclement. The Ukrainian forces are applying the same tactics on the other part of the front when in the southeastern direction they are advancing towards the fields between Kremenchuk and Novodonetsk. The Russian positions in Novodonetsk will be under great pressure if the Ukrainian forces manage to cut off the supply road in this direction. This is also because the other road to Novodonetsk that comes from the direction of Novomayorsk is under the control of the Ukrainian forces, and the village will be completely cut off and isolated if the Ukrainians take control of the southern road. In the western part of the front, in the direction of Levadne-Novodarivka line, the Ukrainian army continues to exert pressure on the Russian defenses. On Bakhmut front, Ukrainian forces make small but steady advances near Klishivka. 2 days ago, we reported about an advance in south, while today, some sources reported about an advancement of Ukrainian troops northwest of Klishivka. Other sources confirm that the Ukrainian army has now completely cleared the areas west of the canal that runs between Klishivka and Ozaryanivka. On Donetsk front, Ukrainian telegram channels reported that their forces managed to successfully repulse a powerful attack by the Russian forces along the Vesele Kruta Balka defensive line. To the south, Ukrainian troops managed to storm and take some of the Russian trenches north of Vodiane. In the direction of Marinka, Ukrainian sources reported about a small advance of the Russian troops, but without specifying where exactly this advancement took place. On Zaporizhia front, clashes continue in areas north of Robotine. According to reports made during the last 2 days, the Ukrainian forces are about 1.5 kilometers north of Robotine. The Ukrainian command continues to expand the active front on both flanks. After the advances made a few days ago on the western flank, today the Ukrainian sources announced that their troops have advanced on the eastern flank, penetrating the areas between Robotine and Novopokrovka. The first clashes were recorded in the plain areas north of Verbove. Regarding the situation of the Wagner rebellion, it seems that the whole adventure seems to have ended today. After an intervention by the Belarusian President Lukashenko, an agreement was reached between the two parties and Wagner troops stopped their advance near the outskirts of Moscow region, about 200 kilometers away from the capital. Prigozhin explained that all this was done to avoid the bloodshed between the Russians. He expressed his satisfaction with the terms of the agreement, which had as one of the main points the dismissal of the Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and the Chief of Staff Valery Gerasimov. The press secretary of the Russian President, Dmitry Peskov, said that all the criminal cases against Prigozhin and his men will be dropped and he himself will leave for Belarus. The adventure of Prigozhin and his troops did not pass without consequences because during the tensions and clashes between the two sides, the Russian Air Force lost about 7 to 8 aircrafts. After the agreement was reached, Wagner troops began to withdraw to their initial positions, while Prigozhin himself left for Belarus. That's all for today's video. Please don't forget to help the channel grow by liking the video and subscribing, and also for those who want to support the channel and get access to more content, you can visit my Patreon page. Thank you.